welcome everybody. As you know, Dr. Shan has been giving many webinars, and he has been talking about meditation. He has been talking about murmur, so many techniques, some advanced techniques. He has done workshops, online workshops. He has done in-person workshops, and he has done retreats, and many of you have attended them. So there has been a lot of knowledge that he has sprayed on us. But I know I only remember a little bit of it, not all of it. And when I try to remember, I have questions. So I think that is the reason this session is being held. So you have a good opportunity to refresh your mind, ask questions, and that is what we are going to do. So in order to make it easier, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. The very first question that I have is, I've heard of about Murma from you, Dr. Shan, and also I've heard Murma from people in northern India. So is the Murma same people who practice in northern India and in southern India, in Tamil Nadu, or they're different?
Well, let us um, take like this. Let's keep it Ayurveda and Siddha. So if you look at Ayurveda and Siddha, it's all grown in the same place only. So if you look at whatever is needed for the north part of India, because it is a colder season, and those things were taken to the north part of India, even including Abhyanga, for example. Abhyanga is where we do oil massages. So those oil massages, they start from the feet and come up. So when you come from beginning from the feet to up, it is heating process. When you start from the top, head to down, it is a cooling process. So yeah, that's how even the bathing, everything, is done. So that's how marmas, there is some important points. For example, in the Ayurvedic tradition, we have 17 marma points are used. In Siddha, 108. But in fact, in the real thing that we see in the literature is like that. But people, when they are using at least 500 to 600 marma points normally. Okay. And there is a mix of things. Even Chinese traditions, many of the Siddha traditions in the Chinese, they overlap. At least 70 to 80 marma points are the same marma points what we are using in Chinese tradition.
You mean the acupuncture points, right? The Chinese, they call
Yes,
it
yes,
acupuncture,
we call it
point.
meridians
Thing, right?
from outside. They all are,
Mhm.
yes, marma points only. So there's no, the way what is missing is because these all came from an origin where they went very deeper, like the Siddhas. Many of the Siddhas, including Tanvantri, Agasthyar, Tanvantri, Tirumular, all those Siddhas, they went very deep into and found the direct knowledge from the consciousness. But interpretation, all this knowledge, we are talking about different things, Ayurveda different, North different, South different, all are missing pieces of things that we are talking about. We are talking about things that are missing, used for even Sujoka or other therapies in the South Korean or in the, if you look at Chinese. So at one part we were one people, one world. Just, now we are differentiating by culture, like race or, countries like this. So therefore we find, okay, if suppose I say everything came from here, we may assume that it belongs to some culture. That is very wrong. It's our ancestors. So our ancestors who went very deep into that knowledge, they went into Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha, a higher level of knowledge, which ordinarily you're talking about the knowledge that we are talking today. is mostly at level 2, like Manomaya Goshas. Manomaya Goshas are like scientists, all you do all through senses, you learn, and permutation combinations, right? That we do with the existing knowledge that we learned here and there. So that knowledge is totally different from the Vijnanamaya Gosha knowledge. This knowledge that we got is very deep from the sage scientists, and that knowledge is very deep in where the sources are there. That's why in the Siddha tradition there is a depth in what we are practicing, because it originated from the Siddhas.
What you're saying is there is one body of knowledge and there are various branches depending the local condition. North is cold, south is warmer. So depending the
Right.
conditions, the local scientists they tuned it further a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right. It's just
Yeah,
the same thing. There's really
exactly.
no difference. It's the
There's no
same thing.
difference. But there might be missing components, such as, for example, Panjapakshi. Panjapakshi means 5 types of birds. They describe the whole body's function using 5 birds. So but that piece of knowledge is missing in the other tradition. Or even the Panjabhuta Tattvas, for example, 5 states of matter. The same 5 states of matter are different in the Chinese tradition. See, when you translate, there are many mistakes that happens. So the originality, goes away. So to retain the original knowledge, we need to have a very deep knowledge, a Shankaya philosophy, like Satyamuni. Satyamuni is from the Sri Lankan tradition. Is the Shankaya philosophy. That philosophy talks about the origin of the universe and how it is connected to our Panjabhutas. So now every person who is a practitioner an Ayurvedic practitioner or some other traditional practitioner, they practice certain things not looking at the whole science. So therefore they have to rely on, even many Siddha doctors, they talk about the they're trying to use modern science to explain things. Whereas in our science, independently they have explained every mechanisms. Because this is nothing to do with the dead body science. Dead body science is like you're operating a car. A car is dead. And you take this engine, you remove. So you are a dead body, you're removing all the organs and seeing everything, whatever you can see, which is limitation with the microscope. And you believe that, oh, this is the whole body. We know everything about this. So it's a huge difference. So the sage doctors, sage scientists, they went very deeper. So that is the difference. Our rishis or siddhas, they all are siddha tradition only. If you look at our rishis like Shushruta, Charaka and all, they are sage scientists. They are very deep there through meditative process. They found these things, right?
Right. So Dr. Shan, while you're talking about science, another question comes in my mind. And I'll tell the audience, please, if you have any question, I'm going to ask this question and they'll open to the floor. So please, if you have a question, put in the chat or be ready. You can unmute yourself and then ask the question. So the question I want to ask is related to the science. Okay. So the marma and the nari, etc., they seem to be invisible, right? So science cannot perceive it. So how do you claim that it works? I mean, what is what is in it, because science cannot really, you cannot prove scientifically.
Yeah, yeah. So, because see, science has something as a limitation. So, what is science? It's called uncertainty principle. So, what is uncertainty principle is below a certain region, we cannot zoom in because the light is used, and the same light which is used to see that particular space or particle will go and bombard the particle. So, we will never ever able to see that. That's a limitation of science. So these are happening, the nadis and all are happening below the micro science. So when you say microbiology is 10 power minus 6. Okay, so that we call it is the small in the modern science. But when you look at, even nanotechnology, many of the nanotechnology have to make assumptions. Here we are talking about around, less than a particle size. An atom 10 power minus 26 below, we are talking about, then we remove that individual particles, how they behave. The sage scientists looked at that. They were able to see that. They were able to understand the properties of that. And they
They were
related
able to
to the
see the
connection.
particle. You're saying they were able to see these minute
Anu.
particles, 10 minus 26
Yes.
particles. Is that?
Yes. So that is a different science. So that cannot be seen through the modern visible technologies that we have. So how we know that, how do we really believe that this is happening, is through applying it in science and technology. That means you can say I press a certain point here, right? And if this point is working for my lower back pain, right? The Tudike Vermam, this Verma point is happening, activating my lower back point. I would do it for hundreds of people, thousands of people, and then it works out. Then I can map it. Along this line, I keep going around this. If it doesn't reach, sometimes, this I do Mudra Priyogam, Burma Mudra Priyogam. These do not reach sometime for certain people. So we have to touch the marma points along that line. So the line is connected. So if you do this, we can actually map it. If we do it these thousands, so that we can see the connection between this. It is not physical, it's not visible, but you can map. So through statistical, biostatistics, we can do and map it. And see, what is science? Science is nothing but you have a problem, you have a solution, and then you have a mechanism. If mechanism not there, it's called religion. Here, you have a problem, you have a back pain, I'm solving it right through this, and I'm explaining using a logic, but this logic may not be the modern logic. It's
So
a
what you're
different kind of
saying,
logic.
I just rephrase it, right? So what you're saying is the sage scientists, ancient sage scientists, they could, through their deep meditation, they could figure out all these nadis and marma points, and they said these are the marma points. And then, and you gave an example, if I have a back pain and I follow what they told us, this marma point, and I press it or do whatever they tell me, and if it works, that is the proof, right? That is really a scientific proof.
Yes, that is a proof. That's a proof. How it works, you cannot explain. If I call a doctor, a modern doctor, and ask them, is there any connection? They cannot find any connection, any nervous system or anything like that. Because I can use another finger and do the same healing through that finger also. So these connections are impossible. And you're trying to explain through modern science is a waste of time. It is not going to work that way. So you need that. This knowledge only is not available in the Ayurvedic people or the Siddha people who are currently functioning, because they did not understand this is a paradigm shift approach of science. It's a different science. Axioms are needed. Axiomatic shift we call it, right?
Right.
So they often try to connect using modern science, and they make this science very poor in front of modern science. This science is looking downwards as if modern science is a bigger science. But the truth is, these are a time-tested science held for thousands and thousands of years by very highly intellectual people. Iteration is there. It's not by one person. It's not like a Bible written by one person and everybody has to prove this. It's not one person science. It is not even 18 siddhas. There are thousands and thousands of siddhas. We call it 18 is a different, its a meaning is different. So there are thousands and thousands of sage scientists who went, attained consciousness. They iterated and they completed the science. Some sage scientists found nadis for the eyes. They found 4,000 nadis. Another sage scientist found for the ears. Right? So like that, they developed this, and they all are in alignment. They did not say that, okay, this is because our misunderstanding, we have misunderstanding, we haven't understood. But they are in alignment because they all connected with consciousness directly. So there is no mistake in their part. Only our interpretations are wrong. Human
Right. So what
interpretation,
is
because we are
what
talking from Manomaya Gosha. We are not evolved people.
so what you're saying is many sage scientists came up more or less with the same solution, and they all were in resonance, right? They
Exactly. They linked with each other. They linked, they download, they still link with each other. Physically
right,
or non-physically, they have linked. For example, Manikavasagar. Manikavasagar is a great sage scientist from South Tamil Nadu. If you look at Valladar is in the 19th century. So he will do reference to Manikavasagar, Tirumular, right? Tirunana Chammadar. So like that they will refer. But if you look at older tradition, if you Tirumular, he will also go back to Agasthyar and he will track. So like that, there is continuously people have been doing. So here the difference is that, see, the whole thing is that the right brain, left brain, like there's a two type of knowledge in this world itself. There are two types of knowledge. One is the left brain, right brain knowledge. So if you look at everything is duality. If you split it, there is a two politicians will be there. One kind of politicians, they will promote certain things. For example, one type of politicians will promote a religion, and another type of people, they become atheistic. There is no religion concept, broader, right? So there is a middle thing. This is called the arthanari. There's a middle. The sage scientists are always in the middle. The middle means there is no that, no this. It is in between. So there is God, but that God is not religious. That God is all pervading. It is everywhere. So it is equal to know God in a physical form. So but this kind of, there is no party or anybody who is promoting this kind of science, because they cannot, because you need to evolve in order to bring this front.
this is a good way of looking at it, right? And I think it really goes beyond what modern science tells us, right? Modern science does not have an exclusive right to what works and what doesn't work, right? That is the bottom line. So there's a question here. Jill is asking a question, Dr. Shan. He says, Dr. Shan, what Marma points are for manifestation? I have a mismatch in what I want to manifest and what's in my life. Some patterns keep repeating themselves and they need to change.
Yeah. See, it's not that we should not be looking at some shortcut methods for manifestation in life. For example, I press this point, can you manifest? That's not true. That's not going to happen. But if you're activating certain marma points very deeply through meditative process, all these marma points open up through meditative process. A meditative process, when your manifestation happens when the mental frequency is very less. So that means your frequency, if you have a 1 second, this is one, within this time you have a lot of thoughts. A thought wave is like this. Say for example, a sine wave is a thought, one full wave. So if you have a number of waves, you have a lot of thoughts. So if you have a lot of thoughts, it's like in a blackboard, you're writing a lot of stuff there. And you're asking a kid, hey, can you go through this blackboard? They get confused. It's all messed up. But you clean, another teacher, cleans up the board and puts 3 points, bullets. 1, 2, 3. Clear, it goes inside the student. So like that, if you have clear thought with high intensity, right? If you're writing in the chalk very nicely, very thick, with the last bench person also can see that very clearly, those thoughts will manifest. So thought manifestation happens first to clearing up the mind. All unwanted noises we should remove. That's why Deep silence. I do the deep silence retreat. You come stay there 2 days. Now I usually do the retreat, silence retreat once in a year. Now I wanted to do every time I do a retreat, there'll be a silence retreat. So when you come there, at least when you're doing after meditation process in the beginning, for beginner meditators, it will be disturbing. Mind, not many people will be a good meditators, because whenever you sit, that's where all the thoughts come. That's not meditation. Meditation is a process where you will be able to see the gap space, add unlimited space after that. So there's a huge gap before you appear again. Oh, I'm here. So that happens after meditations. That's why all this we are doing retreats. So you come down. We'll share the retreats, the next retreat. If you're around, you can come. So, or you can do at home also. If you want, you can do at home and try these things, techniques. I mean, a retreat, it's very easy. You'll have a field. Already everybody is thinking that way. And you're in that field, you're captured. You'll be easily able to, get into that. So that's why then we will manifest certain thoughts. Say, your thoughts come and hit this. This is the point, the topmost point. Sahasrahara, Adipatti, Marmam, Mrudani Marmam. All these Marma points, this is the same Marma points we call, right? Vishnu Randra. All we call different names there. This Marma is used for thought. If you use that Marma for thought, but to manifest, you need to come down and activate the Mooladhara chakra, base Marma, tip of your tailbone. But as I told you, the thought process is a very separate thing. So you do that process separately. Then you bring the thought, keep your mind here and bring the thought, whatever you want to manifest, and then bring down to grounding in order to manifest. Put the thought in higher level, but then you bring that to manifestation. So lower chakras only manifest. Otherwise, everything will be in the air. You can think a lot. There are a lot of meditators, but those meditators, they couldn't manifest things because it's all in the air. That's how. If you want to live in this physical world, you need, things that are needed for family life. You have to come down to lower chakras below this, the Nabi chakra. So they only manifest.
So just to clarify, what you're saying is the very first thing, and it's much easier to do that in a retreat environment, is to make sure there's a gap between two thoughts, right? And that gap keeps increasing. So you remove the clutter in the mind, and then you focus on the top marma point here,
Right.
and then you reduce the frequency. You go to the Muladhara, right, which is the lowest frequency.
Here, when you keep here, you put the thought. I'm saying,
Right.
whatever thought you want to do. So it'll keep that one thought.
Whatever you want to manifest, right? Whatever you want to manifest.
Manifest. Then you come, after put the thought, you have to come down to the physical body level. It is there in the universal magnetism. It is going to manifest somehow through somebody else, through you, or whatever it is. It will happen, right? But then you have to come down and, do the Mooladhara, activate the Mooladhara chakra.
So how do you need a special process to activate the Mooladhara? I mean, have you activated Mooladhara?
Oh, yeah,
Other people?
Well, that is our main thing, we activate the chakras. That's many of them here are experiencing that, right? So we have people who have experienced that. They activate the chakra. So now, initially I used to activate chakra through like a physical process. Before my guru's guru, they would do like a touch here, physical touch here directly, or even kissing, and they activate this point. And my guru brought another thing like touching from the base and bringing it physically touching here and bringing it. So I
Touch with your fingers. He will touch with your
touch with
fingers,
your
with his hand.
finger from the Mooladhara, they bring the activate the chakra. Okay, this is how they did. So they bring the
You bring it up.
Kundalini, and once the Kundalini energy comes here, you'll feel the energy and you'll feel like a vibration, tiny little vibration going on, and you can bring that energy anywhere you want later on. So that's what he does. But he added one more process, what is called the reversing process, where you can bring this back to the Mooladhara again so that you can manifest. So now when I was experimenting, when I was a master, Kundalini master, when I was 19 years old. I used to, at 17, 18 itself, I got initiated. So I became a master. Then there are like, I was introduced to like 400, 500 students whom I need to initiate. It's a huge group. They started to come, and then while doing this, I got a lot of different experience where at certain point, I used to do a meditation in synagogue in a Jewish temple in New Jersey. So there are very 40 families. They come and they were all initiated. So during this initiation process, the ladies used to wear like a huge buns here. So I cannot continuously touch this. I was doing like my guru, but I had to skip from year to year. Then even then it started to work. Then I came up with another idea that okay, this works. Maybe it is within the aura body. So I, without touching from the down, I bring this and it still worked. Then I thought even further down, I learned what is called the Meitinda Kalavarmam. Meitinda Kalavarmam is a turtle. See, if a bird's laying the eggs, they will hatch the eggs by sitting on top of it. That's the touch part. The fish, some electrical eels, they watch through their eyes and hatch the eggs. That is another initiation. You can initiate through your eyes. But there is another type of initiation, is called the Meitinda Kalam, turtles. They lay the egg on the shore and they close with the sand, they go to the ocean. But when the thing is ready, the eggs are ready, they will think and telepathically they will hatch the eggs. This is the process I'm talking about. This is called Meitinda Kalavarmam. Toduvarmam, Nokuvarmam, and Meitinda Kalavarmam. Meitinda Kalavarmam, even from distance, we can initiate and bring this. And I have been doing this, and people are able to feel from remote this process. And many of them, after that, they come and attend my thing. So a lot of people who are from abroad, anywhere in the world, can be initiated through this process, and they will be able to feel it.
They have to be physically in your presence, right, in order to activate this, or can that be done remotely on a Zoom call?
Yes,
What
Zoom
is
call, that's what
better?
I'm telling. Remote only I'm talking about. Meitinda
Okay.
Kalavarma. It's a remote operation. They can be on a Zoom call and we can activate their third eye. Right.
Okay. No, that is very, very good. Let us ask the audience. Does anybody else have any question? You can please unmute yourself and ask a question. Um, well, if you're thinking about a question, maybe I can ask another question. So I've heard.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So
go ahead,
somebody is
please. Go ahead.
asking.
I'm sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
No, no, go ahead.
Actually, I'm a scholar. I'm sorry, I don't know it's right question or not, but I have a small doubt. Like in Upanishad and this Tirumantiram and whatever your Marmam therapy you are talking about, that Panchakosas, right, sir? Is the same all three or it's different, sir?
No, it is all same three. If you look at all the Kena Upanishads, all the Lalitara Sahasranamam, anything if you look at, everything, all are our sage scientists only. They have
Yes.
realized people and they have attained certain state, and from that only they have given downloaded. It's not different.
Mm.
Interpretation only is different. In India itself, we have different interpretations. People make it very bhakti kind of thing, and the whole jnana is lost. See, there's a huge difference between bhakti way of looking at it. Looking at God, for example, Vishnu Sahasranamam, you're looking at Vishnu as a physical God, and you're believing in that. It's different from looking at the chakras, the Vishnu's chakra, and the conch as the sound of the universe, all those things. So that tattva principle is only the interpretation is varied, but it's all the same. The sage scientists who realize the same thing, whether they are in the Himalayas or whether they are in the Kanyakumari, is all the same knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, actually, I have come from the northern India to south to learn this marma therapy. And right now, I am in Annamalai University. If you know that in Chitambram,
Yes,
that
yes,
university is located.
yes.
So I'm from that university and doing my PhD on Tirumantiram. I'm doing, sir. So that wise, actually, as I am reading the Tirumantiram, so in Tantram 3 and 4, there I got these three. So even I have got in the Upanishad also. As right now, I am getting information like on Marama therapy also. In the Tirumantiram also, it talks a little bit about Marama therapy. So because of that, I got a doubt little bit. It's a difference. It's like even somebody is like a scholars, no, they got something new, so they are adding. So of course they have also added. No, sir, as I have understand like Patanjali and Vyagvara and Tirumula, all they are Kali, the same student of the Nandiswara, right, sir? If
Mm.
I am wrong.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so
But
of course they have got different thing because of that they have written different ways, sir.
yes.
So anything is different like that way I'm
No, no,
asking, sir.
there is no difference. Only they would have added, or there is added to the existing knowledge, or developed on the existing knowledge, or new knowledge they gained. That's what happened. So if you look at the most of the marmas, there are many thousands of books. Marmas are mostly written by very unknown people. They are not very regularly, worshipped or celebrated sage scientists like Tirumular or Vadalar. These people, they didn't talk about Marma that much. There are other books like Marma Birangi, Paramaswitra Tiruvukol. Like that, there are thousands of books, and these are very less popular thing, but there only marma can be found, not in the major things. Most of the other things talks about the higher level of getting into evolving further. At therapy level, you cannot find these books in the bigger literature, most famous literature, marma. Okay.
Okay.
So there are deeper. If you
Sir,
go
can
to
you
south,
refer some books
even
for
south
me?
Nagarcoil, tip of Nagarcoil area, those areas, Kanyakumari is Nagarcoil. They are only
Mhm.
real people. They work on Marma, and they may be not knowing. They're not like they know this knowledge through practice. They may not
Mm.
even be able to explain this how it works, but it works. But these books are mostly written in Tamil language.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get in English, sir.
Very rarely you will get some books. See, you have, for example, you can get Vasantalat's book, for example, in the Marma tradition, not the Varma tradition, the Ayurvedic. Some things are there. He compares with Chinese and other things. Books are there, like that. But they are not as deep as you can get in like the vayus, dividing the vayus, how the nadis are connecting and going into different places. What are chakras in connection with the nadis? What does chakra mean? Those kind of details, like I told you, Panchapakshi, all those are hidden in the ancient Tamil literature, right? The,
Mm.
the
Okay, sir.
way you learn is through getting into the practice, and as you start to practice the varmas, then you yourself will try to get some knowledge. It'll just come.
So let us see whether anybody else in the audience has any question.
Yes, this is Arun Prasad here. I'm from Philadelphia and New Jersey area. I'm also interested for myself and more importantly for my children, 15-year-old boy and 12-year-old daughter. I want to see if there is any chance to potentially meet and be in a location for the meditation program, if you can.
Yes, yes. So we do a lot of around the northeast area. We do a lot of this workshop every month. We do 3-day retreats like that. But you can connect with me later on in this after this call, and my number is in the thing. I can put my number here. I mean, there are ways you can meditate, and then we can connect. You can every Monday we have a meditation. You can connect every Monday. So that you're in touch. Those who want to join, as there are people who take if you have some personal problem, you want to particularly solve a particular problem with a kid, and you want the marma, then I do like a personalized lifestyle management program where you can join, and then I introduce them to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every program for them, where we further extract details of that. You are using the marma for different problems. So that's how we do that. So I've given my number there, but you can connect with me, if you want.
So there will
Thank you,
be a
sir. Thank you.
meditation. So there'll be a meditation session tomorrow morning. It's 5:30 a.m. Eastern time, right, Dr. Shan?
Yes,
5:30 a.m.
5:30
Monday
Eastern time.
morning.
Yes, Monday
And
morning.
the next retreat would be in North Carolina. Is that right?
Yes.
In North Carolina.
Next retreat will be in North Carolina. The dates are the January 30th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. I think that's, let's see, January is, how many days we have? January is, okay, so
31 days, right?
at the end of, yeah. So the last of January and first of February.
February. Yes, so
Yes,
3 days in North
3 days.
Carolina, right?
North
Everybody's
Carolina,
welcome.
Raleigh area.
Cary,
Raleigh.
North Carolina, right? Cary, near
Yes,
Raleigh, Durham Airport, right? That's the,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So anybody else? Any other question
Yeah,
here?
yeah, yes, Guptaji. One question actually. On the master, you mentioned the nadis about the nadis, right? So, does the nadis actually form the organs, or they are actually going through the organs?
The nadis, organs are different. Nadis, for example, a stomach. So around the stomach, the nadis are there, right? So each Vada nadi, Pitta nadi, Kapha nadi goes like so. Each nadi acting like a pipe.
Hmm.
So the Vada nadi supplies the air, for example. And there are two type of this nadi, this side nadi. So one is like acting like a suction pipe, and another one is pushing the air, right? So both sides, right?
Hmm.
So it'll go like the samana vayu. So the samana vayu is cylindrical direction. So accordingly, the nadis will set up in the stomach. So air goes back and forth that way, crushing the food. Then the liquid nadis, kava nadis, they secrete the liquid. Spraying of the liquid happens. Then the
You
fire
mean the
nadis,
acid, right?
the
The
pitta nadis,
acids.
yeah, you can call it modern hydrochloric acid, whatever you call it. But we call is the kapha, different kind of kapha is formed, right? So there are different types of kapha, subdivisions of kapha, subdivisions of pitta, right? So here the pitta, the fire starts to activate, in a certain direction, heat up like a welding machine. So all these three things again cooks this food
Hmm.
and converts into the 7 types of tissues. For even tissue, absorption happens, it acts. So nadi is the That's why we have 72,000 nadis. Even though they are tiny, because it is 72,000, they occupy entire body. As the liquid and everything flows, that's why we have the whole function of our body can be explained through nadis. And every function like eyes, why eyes are working this way, what nadis are closing your eyes, opening your eyes, they vayu nadis. This is the udana. For example, udana vayu, the vayu comes up from down to up, so they close your eyes. But apana vayu open your eyes, they're pulling down air, so they open. So if your air is not proper in your body, these lids will have problems. You have flickering effect, or it'll droop down, like this. Those things happen. The alochaka pitta
So you're
is the vision. The fire is the one, alochaka pitta we call it. And the mandrakalam, they operate and they give the light, the light that we see, the vision. Right? And the lacrimation, you need lacrimation. All the tear glands, there are different types of tears. There are 3 types of tears, one coming here, this way. And within the tears, there are different temperatures, and different tastes. 6 types of tastes are. For all those different tastes, different nadis are there. So all these nadis, that's why there are 4,000 nadis, 2,000 for each of the nadis, eyes. Right?
Got it. So Master, so my question is more like, the organs are just some physical structures, and nadis kind of supply the different types of elements, or the
Yeah.
fire, air, and heat to them. So how do we connect this to the actual physical? Like, let's say, for example, through our nerves and whatever the blood vessels, we get the blood supply and
Yeah,
oxygen, all those things. How do we
it
connect that?
operates through the blood vessels. See, the blood vessels, if you break down, you're going to cut down many nadis, basically. So what they're detecting, it is on how you look at, you're looking at a structure, you're looking at a building that is made up of bricks. So somebody said the whole, your house is made up of bricks. And somebody said, no, it is made up of the soil, the mud. So that is the truth. It is made up of mud. So you looking at that mud level is higher science, but you breaking the brick is also destroying the mud, certain level, right?
Got it.
So here, when say for example you do a surgery, for example, right? A surgery on this part, if you do on the right side, it's called the Pallai Varmam. Below the diaphragm here, we say Pallai Varmam. If you keep a knife there, there are important 12 marma points in our body. If you keep a knife there, the person dies. But what would the doctor give a reason? He will not know that this marma points has, destroyed him. He will give some reason for his death. The reasons that we talk in modern science is not a real reason for death. It is a much complicated process. Wherever they detect, for example, they want to detect the heart, they will say the heart will stop. For any dead person, heart will stop. So most of the cases, if you go to the hospital and see, they list them as heart attacks. But the truth is not that. Right? So that is why the way we look at the modern invasive methods are very wrong. These are very shortcut methods. It's not a full understanding, like how our sage scientists understood, and that's not the science. It's not going to sustain. That's why every science keeps on changing. If you look at, they give one medicine and they say after a few years, 5-6 years, this is not good, side effects will, in 10 years that they will say that medicine, is a negative medicine. It has caused a lot of problems. They ban those medicines, right? This has been happening for a number of, decades now. Now, if you look at, for example, ashwagandha or brahmi, thousands of years. It is the same function. They haven't changed it. It will remain forever. This all sage scientist Agastya went inside, went deep into all the, at the mental level, they mingle with the plant as a living being, they get connected. Like how you see in this, all these movies, Avatar and other movies, you get connected like that. It's real. It's a real connection, they make it. Right? And they get download all the information. This information will be highly truthful. There is no assumption. Science is based on assumption. You don't know. That's why it's called research. In ancient science, there is no research. There is only search. Search means one time they told, you believe it. That's all. It is the truth. I don't want to doubt my sage scientists. Whatever they told, I'm believing. But research means what? You're doubting. You don't rely on your own thing. So you will do 2 times, 3 times. Statistics all based on research. Remember that.
Yeah.
Because you don't believe in one.
Yeah.
Our sage scientists, they never lied. They don't have to lie. And yes, you're a believer, you believed in. There's only search and the truth you do. There is no research there. Research and all are needed only for life science.
Master, coming back
All
to the
science.
Nadi question, right? So
Yes.
on the Nadi question, so so let's say that you're very focused on the heat, air, water, and Akash going through the Nadis, right? So the earth, can we say that the earth is the basis for all the organs, and all the other 4 elements are going through the Nadis and supplying the energy to them on water or
So
heat or
2
fire?
things. The earth, the solid part is the earth. So all the solid parts, including the nadi structure, everything that's solid, it is made up of the earth component. So it's
And
a
the
solid.
organs too, right? Organs too.
Yeah, all the organs I'm talking about. And all the liquid, all these things. So the nadis are connected through everywhere, and all the liquids and everything goes through this, secretes, right? Like capillary tubes. So they are looking at, we are looking at not like higher molecular level, even like H2O. They are looking at a particle level itself, they are talking about this is a liquid particle. They are not talking about a liquid molecule. It's talking about a liquid particle. This liquid particle behave like this. Okay. See, in modern science, we made a lot of assumptions. Whatever we are trying to apply outside, we are trying to apply inside. It won't work out that way. Right? Much complicated, this body is. Right? So that's how they look at. So when you're looking at, wave particle theory, all these quantum mechanical things apply here. Body. But it's real happening. Quantum mechanics, they just do for materialistic purpose, but actually it is designed to understand our body. It's all happening at a quantum mechanical level, right?
So when we look at an organ, so let's say that we say that it is just the earth and all the nadis put together, one is forming a shape.
Yes, the earth only makes the organ, that's all. And all the things that goes through, the liquid, the air, all the only functions. The air only functions. Actually, say I want Vayana Vayu should be there so I can rotate my eyes. If the air function stops, I cannot rotate, right? So like that, I need the heat to see. For seeing, I need heat. For digesting my food, if I take like a lot of ice, for example, I take ice, a lot of ice, I'll kill my Agni. So my eyes will, also I cannot see properly because my Agni is dead. Remember, so you can see the connection. You can try these things. Do same experiment to your own self before you give it to your kids. Your own self. Do these experiments and see. Every day you take cold for 1 week. Look at your eye function. Look at whether you were able to read or see far away. It will drop down substantially. Then you see the connection between the Agni. So all the solutions, all the medicines are based on adjusting these Vayus or, the Diravas or the fires, heat components. So that's how our medicines are designed. And this is natural evolution theory. This is not just a man-made theory. It's not like I compare this with some other theory which is better or anything. This is given by sage scientists who have realized thousands iterations. There is no bigger science than this. And this science is the ultimate science because it came from consciousness, and it is not limited to any religion, or it's not limited to any culture. You can explain this in any language to anybody and they will have to accept.
Yes, a few more minutes left. Anybody else also has a question? This was a very good question. I think it was a very good discussion as well. So anybody else has another question here?
Dr. Shan, what do you suggest that we do by ourselves or along with our families for New Year's to set the intention for New Year's, and any sort of special pujas that are going to be held or that we could do for New Year's Day, or what do you suggest?
New Year's, you wake up early morning, number one. So if you're able to wake up around 3 o'clock, 3:30, that is something. And you can do empty space meditation. Empty space. Just become very blank and look at the universe. Expand your mind to the entire universe. And remain in that state, whether you're lying down or anything, that's okay. But first you need to eliminate your body, you need to clean up, you take shower, everything. And then you can first sit straight and do this. Later on you don't have to sit straight. It doesn't matter, because the universe is all directions. Direction is not in this. If you lie this side also, there is a space here. So initially only you have to keep straight and do these things. But once you do this, you expand and try to be in the universe itself. All the energy will come. Nothing else. Just one day if you do that, you will feel a lot of energy that is coming up, because the universe all links. Because here what we are looking at, see what we in the Western calendars, what we talk about this January 1st and all are mostly human made. The January 1st is not a real first calendar. Okay, so Eastern calendars are very strong. Here are some Tamil Sanskrit calendars. They are based on some scientific reasons, very deep scientific reasons. They are tied to our Sarasutra clock, biological clock. Sarasutra Gadigaram we call it. So based on that, they go from all the yugas. From the yugas they come down and calculate the time, and they break the time like that. Top down view. Okay, and then they create this, so that that perspective that is missing in the Western science. Western science had only, the Western culture, we had only 6 months at one time, and then they added, if you look at Septa, Octa, August, September, except for Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar, they named after that, but rest all, if you see Septa, Octa, Nave, Dase, these all are Sanskrit names you look at. So it is a recreation. Gregorian calendar is a recreation after understanding, this tradition, they are understanding all these different seasons, and they put according to that. So they adapted this. So exact actual thing is in the mid April, the Happy New Year. But the other thing is that because this New Year, why we can celebrate, lot of people across the world think it is very spiritual thing. Lot of people. So there is an energy across the world. So therefore, we can still celebrate this New Year, and we can do by just expand your mind. And this season is also very good. If you look at December, where we do Christmas, is an amazing season. That's why Christ and all are very great people born in this kind of culture, probably, and we associate a lot of all this, even in the Christian tradition, we associate with the Santa, all with the snow and everything. It is linked with the nature. not separating us from even the snow and everything. We are appreciating. We are becoming one with that. And then also, it is good. This is a very Ketu based. Even in this country is also North America is a Ketu based country. Even Canada, whole Mexico also, they are Ketu based country. Means every region there is a Ragu Ketu effect. So this is good for spirituality. Very take down deep into spirituality. So if you look at, you can go deeper, and we start to expand and meditate, we'll get all this energy. And the season is also good. November, December, January to February, and these seasons are very, very calm down, grounding seasons. You can go very deep into your own self. So in that way, you can look at energy wise and also from the season perspective. And if you deeply meditate, definitely you'll get the benefit for a year.
So are you planning, so Dr. Shan, are you planning to do a meditation session on the first? Or you want
Well,
everybody to do it on their own?
I'm thinking of doing a very short meditation, like half an hour meditation. Yes. So you
Okay.
can join in the first. So it is a Thursday. It's a Thursday, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you can join. We can send you across. Everybody you can all join. We'll find a common time where we can all meditate very deeply.
So we'll send out, I mean, we can send out a message to
Yes.
everybody, right? So they can, at what time it will be, etc., right? Just 30 minutes. So there's another question. Balu has another question. Yeah, Balu, please go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes, please, Bal.
Thank you, Guptaji. Master, I have one question on the Duryatita meditation. So after we go, I mean, one experience I'm feeling in the recent days so deep is that after Duryam, I'm not in my own senses. Meaning, like I feel like I'm sleeping, so I lose track of time. So whether I'm doing it correctly or whether that is how it is. It is,
Yeah.
Um, sometimes it feels like I'm sleeping, but I'm not. But I want to make sure that I'm not doing it the wrong way.
No. You're doing it right. The reason is Turemum Kadanda Sukapuranam Tarum Ariyachitrambalat. See here, what we look at as the Turiam, see up to these chakras, if you look at the chakras, each chakras are connected to one Panjabhuta. For example, Mooladhara is for the solid state, earth. Then you have Swadhisthana is for the liquid state, water. Then Manipurga is for the fire. Anagata is for air, and this is for ether. Now this is for 5 Panjabhutas. Then this chakra is for the Panja Tanmatras. So the pressure, that's the touch sensation, taste, smell, sight, vision, and then sound. For the 5 transformation, there is a center. This is the chakra. Now, the 5 transformation will be coming under control. Here, what we are seeing when we are watching this, okay, we are using our mind, still we are using our mind to see the life force energy particles, the Kundalini energy particles here. But when these energy particles goes here, there is no mind, because this center is for the mind, remember.
Yeah.
5 transformation. These 5 transformations are for human beings. All, other living beings also have 5 transformations. A monkey probably have, it may not sense, but it has the chakra developed. But the 6th transformation is the mind, and that chakra goes here. That is even subtler than the 5 transformations. So here, basically your mind will stop.
Okay.
That's the real meditation. Still, if you're here and you're still I am getting thought, means you're not meditating. It is still here. Mind is still functioning. So here, mind should shut down. You should not feel anything. It's most like a sleep only. It's like a half sleep. But you're aware.
Mm.
You're not sleeping.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Master. Thank you, Master.
So meditation is so important. So before we finish, I think I just want to remind everybody that we have several events going on every month. So every Monday morning is sort of a free meditation. It's a very powerful meditation. It's 5:30 in the morning, right, Dr. Shan? 5:30 in the morning.
Yes, yes.
And our IT team sends a reminder. And if you're not in the community, the WhatsApp group of the community, please join it. And the link is already there in the chat. And you'll get information, the Zoom link to join the meditation. Then every month, there is a retreat. And to join the retreat, there are two options. You either sign up for the retreat directly, or you can become a member of the Siddha Vetha community. And there's a certain amount of money that you have to pay, and then you are allowed to attend 4 retreats in a year, right, Dr. Sean? 4 plus a silent retreat.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
They can attain. Now we allow them as many as they can if they want.
so you can attend any retreat that is
Any
held
retreat. Yes, yes.
in the year, right? In the year. So the
Yeah,
membership
yes.
goes for a year. So you have a lot of flexibility, and the retreats are not in just one location. So sometimes he has a retreat in Binghamton, his hometown, and one was in the last one was near Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. And the next one is in North Carolina. So it moves around. And you can also attend any of your workshops as well, right? In the membership, right, Dr. Sean, you can attend any of these
Yes, yes.
workshops.
Workshops.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he
So
had
then you
workshops
can
in
look into the
Tampa area.
membership details.
Yeah. So the membership details are in the chat. So you can click on it, you'll get it. And of course, we have these every week. There is a webinar or Q&A session, etc., with Dr. Shan. So you can attend that as well.
Yes.
But it is so good to see so many people coming, joining, asking questions, participating, and I think it's a very good learning. Very good learning.
Yes.
So I know it's over time, but if anybody has a last question,
Yeah,
please.
Andy. So this is the meditation is for other people. It is all Monday, but those who have like people like you, we have given you options for Monday, Wednesday, Friday because you're doing other kind of meditations also. So all the basic people who want to attend, they will attend on Mondays. Okay. So that's two different things. So and then our costs for the retreats, each retreat has a different cost. So we are looking at we're calculating based on that. So the cost for this retreat, I think we put as $390 or something for a retreat.
The North Carolina, right?
North
The North
Carolina.
Carolina retreat.
Okay, so that we are thinking of including everything because it's a retreat center and it's a donation based center, so we're going to donate it to them, so they're
Master,
welcome. Food and everything is included. Yes.
Master, where is the Florida retreat? Which city?
North Carolina.
No, Florida.
The
Florida
Florida.
retreat.
Florida is in March, end of March. So
Place.
and the place in Tampa area.
Tampa area.
Sarasota, right? Is this Sarasota?
Yeah, close to that, Sarasota. So we will send you information about that in the next thing. And April, we are thinking about Boston. April. So maybe earlier, if we have something in between, that will be in Texas. We are trying to get something in Texas, and we'll let you know, Andy. So then after that, he will switch back to my place, basically. So I wanted to keep it in the Northeast most of the time, and it'll be a nice time because of the weather. We wanted to travel to warmer places during this winter. Okay. So any other questions?
Just one more question. Last question anybody has?
Yeah,
I
Mahendran
think
is here. Muthu is here.
it's a good Q&A session. I think it's a good discussion. I think and we'll have more. Well, we'll have every week. We have seminars and webinars, so you still have opportunity. You'll have more opportunity to ask questions in future.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you
Okay,
for
thank you all.
joining.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Great one. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.